All right, y'all. This is so weird because I'm like staring at myself, but this is new. And so we're here today to record another video because the way my life is going, we have to, I don't know if there's a better way to say kill two birds with one stone, but that's what we're doing today. I gotta go somewhere and I need to be there at 1. It's 10:40. So I need to be dressed in 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, which means I have half an hour really to style my hair so that I can dry. Let's go. Today's video is about long distance relationships, and I'm gonna get a couple things out the way. I don't do product reviews because nobody's paying me, but after the week I have, we need to make sure my eyes are in good shape. And this pimple is a result of my own efforts. Every chocolate chip cookie and muffin I saw, I ate it. So we're here and it's fine. It's just a pimple. It'll be gone. But anyways, we're gonna be doing my hair while we talk about long distance relationships. And long distance relationships can be romantic, familial, platonic, and I've experienced a lot of long distance relationships in the last 3 years, let's say 5 years to be all encompassing. And it is not easy. So let me just get going right now before I even get into it. So I'm just doing a wash and go today. This is my go-to style. I hear my husband approaching. Ow. I don't know why I didn't think of closing the door earlier. Okay. Anyways, child. So I'm just doing my wash and go, which is my go-to style. It is easy because I just have to do my hair once for the week and I don't have to worry about it. I can live in it, sweat in it, do whatever. I just tie it down at night, wake up in the morning, zhuzh it up, and we are good to go. So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, we're back. A lot of distractions this morning, but we're good. So I was saying that I'm just doing a wash and go because it's easy. I can sleep in it, live in it, go to the gym. All I gotta do is wake up and zhuzh my hair and we're good to go. So I just gotta spend a few hours, 1 day a week, do my hair, and I'm good for 7, 10 days if I need to be. Okay. So the real reason we're here is to talk about long distance relationships. So let me prove why I'm eligible and able to talk on this topic. I was in a long distance relationship with my husband. Then he was my boyfriend for maybe 2.5 years. We started not long distance. We met in New York and that was cool. And then COVID happened. And so he went back home to Milwaukee where he's from. And it was hard, to say the least. It was hard, but it was so different because it was COVID anyway. So even when he was here for a little bit and COVID happened, I was like nervous to hang out with him because he lived with a bunch of other college boys and my mom at the time was in her 60s. And although my mom is pretty good about her health, we just didn't know what was happening. And so I didn't want to be around him and put her at risk. And so I just didn't really see him that much. So we were like long distance in the same city. So he went back home and we saw each other every couple of months for like a week. Mostly I would go to him because just where I lived at the time wasn't really spacious to have a guest there. And we were dating, so it's not like we could sleep in the same bed in my mom's house. So, yeah. And I would stay with him because his house was bigger. He lived with his parents, and I would just stay in his room and he would stay like in another room or something like that. So it worked out. Oh God, my arms are already hurting me. Okay, so that was that. And it wasn't easy, like just maintaining a relationship over the phone. We had to get real creative, virtual dates, phone calls, FaceTime. And it was just a lot of texting and calling. And it was cool, but I loved him. So I did it. I mean, we loved each other. Not to say that he didn't love me. We did it. But I had always said I would never do a long distance relationship. Like, I was just like, this is me growing up. I was like, ugh, why would anybody do a long distance relationship? You might as well just break up. There's other people out there, which is very on brand for my personality. So that's neither here nor there. However, here I was in one. And like I said, we made it work. Obviously, we're married now. So it worked out. It wasn't the end of the world. It was hard, especially when his job had him move from Milwaukee to California. So from New York to California is a 1 hour time difference. So not that bad. It was a little bit later in New York, but it wasn't that bad. He would stay up late or whatever the case may be, if like we were on the phone or something. But once he moved to California, it was crazy. And by that time, I was, I think, in Boston for grad school. And so I'm like, I'm not staying up late. I gotta get up at the butt crack of dawn because I need to go to the gym before class that starts at 7 a.m. I was full-time in grad school, and I was like, I do not like Boston. I am not staying here a second longer than I need to. I'm finishing this 12-month program in 10 months. So I was going for it. And I was like, I need to sleep. I need my energy. And so it would be like 9 o'clock. And I'm like, all right, I didn't finish my homework, finish studying, all that kind of stuff. I need to be in bed by 10 so I can wake up at 5 a.m. And he was just getting off work. It's like 6 p.m. He's like cooling down, about to get on the game, eat dinner, whatever. And that was hard because it's like you don't really get that much time to talk. I'm like, oh, it's hard to stay up late to talk to him because then I'm going to pay for it in the end. So it was just really hard once he moved to California. And so we knew that we wanted to maintain this relationship. And so as I was finishing up grad school, I knew that I had to go to California post-grad. And it was big for me because, like, I'm a New Yorker through and through, born and bred, and I love my family. I'm an only child, but I'm really close with my older cousins, and they have kids now, and I love hanging around their children, and my aunts and uncles, and, all of my friends. Like, my whole life is in New York. And it was just like, okay, I had to choose. Honestly, backtrack. I had to choose where I wanted to go to grad school because I wanted to go to the best program for me. I'm literally about to stop working while I'm in grad school so I can go full time, so I can just get this done and over with so that I can come out on the other side in a better career position. And it was hard at first because there was potential threats to our relationship because he knew that at some point he would have to come out to California, like that's where his job was. So he was just buying time, working from home. But at some point they were going to make him come in, which they did. And it almost threatened our relationship because I didn't find any schools in California or on the West Coast that I wanted to go to. And that was hard for us. But like I said, we made it work. But it was just, we knew that 3 hour time difference was going to be crazy. 3,000 miles. It's a lot easier to fly from New York to Milwaukee or Boston to Milwaukee, or, well, it wasn't Boston at the time, New York to Milwaukee than it is New York to California. Not only is it like 3 times the length in flight, it's so much more expensive. So we made it through that. We were able to come to the conclusion that this relationship is important, but my education is also important, and I need this degree. Ow. And so, fast forward, we're in Boston. So he came to visit me twice. I had only visited him once, Valentine's Day weekend, in 2022, which was, like I said, I was only there for 10 months, so just the second semester of my program. And so I visited him for a few days, and that was good. And then he came once, I think in the fall of my program, and then, probably like November or something like that. And then he came for my graduation. So we had only seen each other 3 times in that 10-month period, which is crazy. Because at this point we're dating for 2022, we're dating for like almost 2-3 years. So now we're really locked in. Did we go on a family vacation? We might have gone on a family vacation before I went to grad school in 2021. Well, not a family vacation, a vacation. It was supposed to be a family vacation, but my family didn't get it together, so they went at a different time. But we went on a vacation in 2021 before I went to school, and then we hadn't seen each other we saw each other every couple of months, but it was different. And so finally I moved to California in the summer of 2022, which is great because now we're finally living in the same city for real for once. I didn't move into the same apartment with him because I didn't want to. I wanted to have my own space. I've had bad roommate experiences, and I just wanted to have my own space because I knew at some point, whenever it's time for us to move in together and get married and all that kind of stuff, I'd never be able to live alone again. And like I mentioned, I'm an only child. I like my space. So we're in the same city, and we're walking distance away from each other, so that's good. Neither of us have cars, so we were able to spend more time together, but it was just still different because we were so used to not being all on top of each other that we had to like readjust what normal is, and we had to make sure that we were spending time. Oh my gosh, my arm's hurting me. We had to make sure that we were spending time together, hanging out, and like not just relying on our phones, because now we're in the same city, but we had been long distance for so long that that was normal to us. That was fine. That wasn't like a detriment to our relationship, but in order for it to grow, we really needed to change the way we viewed quality time. So we worked on that. That took I wouldn't say it took a while. Honestly, I don't even remember. We did what we needed to do. And so now we're here. But in moving to California, I then entered into a long distance relationship with all of my family and my friends. And that weighed on me so hard. I think it took me like 6 months to actually feel comfortable living out here. And it was such a hard thing because it was like, I got the job that I wanted. I'm in my career now. Grad school was worth it. I'm out here with my boyfriend, whom I love, who I want to marry. And I'm away from my mom. I'm away from my best friends. I'm away from my family. I am away from anyone who acts like me or sounds like me. I don't have the conveniences of home, my car, living in New York City. I didn't live in Manhattan. I lived in Queens, which is still New York City, but just so that people out there understand what I'm talking about, New York City is just different. Like all 5 boroughs, it's just a world onto its own. And it's hard moving from there to Oakland. It was not hitting the same, and I didn't have anyone else that I knew out here. Like, I'm a super social person. I was always like with my friends or at my family's house, and here it was just me and my husband or my boyfriend. And I know you might be thinking, well, you have him. And I did have him. But by being so okay with just being with him like every now and again, but then also having my family, it just felt like filling one void to open up another void. And so it was hard. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. You know, it was hard. What helped me was getting involved in a chapter out here. So I'm in a sorority. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which you would know if you watch my vlog. So if you haven't watched that, go watch that. I'll figure out how I can link it in the video. I'm still new here. But yeah, so I joined a chapter, or I think John and I were out and I saw somebody's jersey and they had their Instagram on the back of it. And I was like, what? Why would you put your Instagram on the back of your jersey? Thank God she did. Honestly, Taylor Ann, thank you. So I'm nosy. So I look at, her Instagram and I see that she's a soror. And I'm like, OMG. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go up to her and I'm going to say hi and I'm going to ask her like if she's in a chapter out here, all that. Turns out she was. And that was probably the greatest thing that happened to me because I was able to find my chapter. And I love my chapter. They just make being an AK so great. And obviously it is what you make it. So if you're not involved in a chapter and you're not involved in the sorority, you may have different feelings and sentiments. That's on you, sis. Like I said, I love my AK. And, okay. To be fair, this side is kind of dry or drying now. So that's why it has a little bit more volume. But we gonna get it together. Time check? Okay, 11. Don't have much time, but I think I can finish the rest in 20 minutes. So, I reached out and got involved in a chapter, and that was the greatest thing that happened to me because, I just, at that point, I was probably like September, I was probably August. And so I went to the September chapter meeting. And it was an adjustment at first because, I didn't know anybody. And so, I only knew that one person. And so it was just like, getting to meet people, but everybody was super welcoming and super nice and just sisterly, which is what you want. So that was awesome. And I think, like I said, that was September. So maybe October of 2022, I wasn't feeling it. Not that I wasn't feeling the chapter, I just was not feeling the move. Like I still was not comfortable. And some could say, why didn't you move in with him? At least you would have had someone in the home because like my apartment was silent. It was just me. But I didn't regret that decision and I still don't regret that decision because like I said, I needed to have my space. And not only that, I just did not want to live together before being married. That just is not my vibe. And that was really the real reason. But also, like I said, I wanted to have my space. And I broke down. I was in shambles. I think this was like October. I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm paying off all this moving debt. I'm like, I don't have any money. In hindsight, I'm pretty sure I had money in my savings account. But my checking account was not looking like that. And it's just, you're moving out on your own for the first time. And it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. But like I said, having my chapter saved me because once I started to get engaged and involved, I started to build that community. And so I had him and we were working through our relationship, just adjusting to changes. And, I'm on the phone with my family all the time, calling back home, calling my mom because my mom and I are super close and just doing what I can. So that Thanksgiving, I think I went home and he went home to his family because that was our first Thanksgiving there. And then we decided Christmas, we were going to do another vacation together actually. And so we went up to Tahoe, and that was cool. And that's when we got engaged. And I think what happened was when he saw me having that breakdown, he's like, you know what? She is, it's time. Because really, it was a lot of uncertainty. Because I'm like, I did this big move. I'm away from everything that I know and I love. And I don't even know if I'm going to marry this guy. Like, what did I do? I literally moved away from everyone. Was this stupid? Did I just do something stupid because I loved him? I didn't, but it felt like that in that moment because, like I said, he was my boyfriend at the time. And I'm just like, I know I want to marry this guy. I know I want to spend the rest of my life with him. But does he know that? Does he want to do that? So we got engaged, and he's like, you know, when I saw you breaking down, I knew that it was time to just give you some certainty so that you know, like, I'm in this forever. And so after that, we started planning our wedding, blah, 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 blah. Now, even wedding planning made long distance relationships hard. And I know I gave a lot of backstory, so I'm just going to skip backstory and kind of make this more relevant to you, the viewer, in terms of navigating long distance relationships. But the real reason I'm doing this is to validate feelings of it is hard. You don't need to be told, oh, but if you love them, you'll do it. It should be easy. No, because I loved him, or I love him, and it was still hard. And it's still hard to this day. Like, the amount of things or memories that you miss out on because you're not there is hard, because it's like, all right, well, I'm making new memories here. I'm enjoying my life here, and I'm, finally finding friends and getting comfortable. And even though it took a while, I'm here. But now it's just like when my family's like, oh, my little cousins are going to school and starting dance school and having dance recitals, and I can't be there to be a part of those memories. Or when my mom moved, I was only there for a part of the time, and I couldn't really help her move in. And my best friends back at home, like, they're doing things when I'm not there. And, it's fine, because I'm like, you guys can't stop your lives because of me. But it's hard because, again, the flight from New York to California is so expensive. So it's not like I'm there every month. And I also have to think about the fact that, my husband and I are starting our lives together. This is my family now. We need to be making our own memories, which we are. So last year we spent both holidays here, which I don't know about doing that again. But it was good. Like, it was our first Christmas married, and so that was really fun and special because we just got to make our big meal and eat it together and just, start thinking of some of the traditions that we want to bake into our family, which was lovely. But then I see the videos of family back home, and they're like FaceTiming me during all of our normal traditions and all that, and I'm like, I wish I was there. So it's not easy, but we make it work. And like, my family is really great because we'll just be on the phone for hours. Like, my cousins, my mom, we'll just talk on the phone for hours on end. And so in those moments, I feel like I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're just talking about a certain thing, like, oh, I have a question, can you answer it? Okay, bye. Like, we're just on the phone, just talking about life as if we're right there. And these are things that we did when I was there too. So it makes me still feel connected. And I think that's one of the most important things, finding ways to stay connected with your people, even if you're not with them physically. And I'm glad all of this happened in an era in which there's phones and FaceTime and video chat, because what was I gonna do? Write a letter to somebody? Like, yesterday I did this, this, and this. Now I gotta wait 2 weeks for you to get the letter. I'll read the letter and respond back to it. So I'm grateful that this all happened in an era in which there is technology, and I use it to my advantage, because otherwise it'd be so hard to like just stay connected with my family. I don't think I would be able to be out here like this. And not to say that we're gonna stay out here forever, but right now being out here is what's best for us. And you just gotta find a way to make it work. And so, like I said, my family will FaceTime me to engage me in things that are happening with the family, which I'm very grateful for. Or they'll send videos. I hear them coming again. Okay. We'll send videos to the family group chat to stay up to date and what's happening. Whoa, what's happening here? So yeah, and then my best friends, they are the best. We do like our movie nights together. We did a Wicked movie night last month, and for Valentine's Day, we did a Valentine's Day, like they were all at one place, and they just FaceTimed me in, and we were on the phone from like maybe like 3 to 8, like 5 hours. And so they were baking cookies from scratch, and I was like, y'all, I'm not baking cookies from scratch. So I made a little floral arrangement, which I'll drop some photos of it in the video. And I made like some pre-made dough cookies. And so we did that together. And so things like that are what we'll do together to kind of stay connected and stay engaged. And like we talk all the time. We just have a running conversation. So I don't ever feel too far from them, but I do get sad when I miss out on certain things or find out after. Because, you know, we're so close. Like my best friends and I grew up together. We've been friends since, I think this year is Nola was 10. Then we did Chicago. This is our 12th year being friends. And so, you know, we locked in, but still, nobody wants to be left out. And then my other best friend, whose daughter I'm the godmother of, I hate that I miss so many memories, or I don't get to see her as much. And my best friend does a good job. Like she'll just send me photos of her so I can see what's happening, or sometimes like she'll just call me so that my little goddaughter will know who I am and know my face. Because when kids are so young, I don't want to say they act like they don't know you. They probably really don't be remembering you. Like their memory is not focused on things or people that they only see 3 times a year. They're focused on their favorite toy, or, you know, when they're hungry, or their friends in pre-K. Like they're not paying attention to me. So I'm glad that I have people in my life that don't forget about me and try to include me in things that they do. And so I think those are some of the most important parts of having successful and healthy long distance relationships, is staying engaged and staying connected. Just because you're not physically there doesn't mean that you can't be included and you can't be there to support. You know, there was a situation in which I was able to help my best friend and my goddaughter, and I just felt so good that I was able to do that, but that my mom was also able to help in that situation, and she was just able to support me in that. And I call my mom for everything. I could be walking to the store and I'm calling her 3,000 miles away because, listen, if something's gonna happen to me, I need to be on the phone with somebody. And it's not that I can't call my husband. He's just a guy. Like, I'm just a girl, he's just a guy. Guys don't really want to be on the phone and talk about nothing. Not to say if I didn't ask him, he wouldn't. Of course he would. But I'm on the phone with my mom, and then if anything happens, she can call my husband. So that's my logic, because like I said, my mom and we talk about whatever, all the things. What she's watching on TV, what's going on in the world. How do I cook this? Should I wear this outfit? Look at my plants. Girl, these people at work upset at me. Like, I can talk to my mom about absolutely anything, and one conversation turns into the next. And so that's my girly pop. I love her. But having those conversations about nothing, I think, are the best ways to get engaged and involved with people, because it kind of feels like you're there. Like, it doesn't need to be a conversation about something. And so I think I'm grateful that I have relationships that are strong like that. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I don't know if you guys love or hate this kind of content, like a little chit chat as I get ready, but if you do, let me know in the comments down below. I can do it again. But today it was really just because I needed to get this video recorded. It's been on my heart, and I also needed to get my hair done because I got places to be and people to see. So I figured, why not do both? So for all my girlies and guys out there dealing with long distance relationships, I hope those little tips help you, build strong relationships with your people in advance and just continue to maintain them. Don't be afraid to get on the phone, text if you need to, but find ways to stay engaged and involved. You can do movie nights, you can watch a show together, you can just do different activities. Like my best friend and I do Bible study, and yeah, leverage the technology that you have. Get off TikTok or Instagram or X or whatever and just connect with your people, because lack of connection just will drive you up the wall. It's just not good for us as humans. And so find ways to be connected, don't be afraid to make new friends and build community in the place that you are now, because those people will make that place special and they start to become your new family. And so make sure that you're building the community that helps to support you where you are in your life, not only physically, but mentally. And with that, I'll see you next time. I'll probably post a finished look at the end of this video, or maybe on my Instagram. We'll see. Okay, y'all. Bye for real. I realized I should have added in a clip about how it looks once it's done. This is wet. It's not gonna be this long when it's dry, but this is my hair. This is longer because I did this one after the side, but yeah, this is gonna shrink right up.